Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Transport Fever 2, where I'm having fun with virtual trains, trucks, planes, ships, and try to not go bankrupt in the process. Before I begin today's episode, I'd like to remind you to hit that subscribe button and use the bell to stay up to date with my latest content. I would also like to encourage you to join my Discord server where you can interact with me and other Transport Fever fans, talk about the game and mods, or just chill. You can find link in description down below this video. So, welcome back after an entire week of break. Yes, I finally decided to take some short rest, and I feel very refreshed. I'm not going to lie. It was very refreshing. It was very relieving, and now I'm back, and it's time to once more dig into our lovely massive map in Transport Fever 2. So, without any further ado, and before I will explain what we are going to do today, let me switch to the game window, shall we? You should now start to see the game, and yes, you probably recognize this station. It is Shaftesbury Central. Right. Enough of that watching, there's nothing happening. Oh, one train is actually leaving from the station. And our local train 11, which is going between Shaftesbury Central and Felixstowe, is just pulling in. Fantastic. Beautiful view. Right. Anyway, what we are going to do today, instead of looking back at our, massive and magnificent fleet, which is currently transporting passengers directly between Carterton and Chertsey, we will focus our efforts into Felixstowe. Yes. In this town, there is something important that we want to do, and that is goods factory. Yes. In today's episode, I will be trying to start producing some goods and deliver them all the way to Carterton, which is back here. It is a very long route, but hopefully, with the money I got, I can make it work, and later on, it will bring me massive incomes. So, how are we going to start? Goods are are in fact the most difficult to make, or most complicated to make. We need two ingredients to make goods. We need plastic and we need steel. And to do each of them, you need obviously some other ingredients. So for plastic, we need refined oil, which in this case will be very simple. Everything can be sorted out locally. And that's how we are going to approach today's topic. So, I will start from upgrading those roads. I really need them to support higher speed transport. In fact, I can upgrade this road as well. Fantastic. And that's our town's road, which I can also upgrade in this area. Fantastic. Right. So, the first step has been done. The next step will be connecting plastic factory with goods factory. Fantastic. Right. This way we've created an overpass that will help me reduce the noise pollution in Felixstowe. Because if I would send all those trucks throughout town center, it would end up in a massive disaster in just a couple of years. So that's why I decided that this road is definitely worth it. Right, so let's begin. There's a lot of things to build. So let's start off by putting a station. So I will use one platform. We don't need much more. But let's make it longer, shall we? Let's turn it. And perhaps let's put it as far as possible. Okay. That place looks nice. Fantastic. Now we need two platforms. One will be inbound platform where we are going to deliver oil barrels, and the other one will be outbound platform where we are going to take refined oil barrels further down to plastic factory. So let me just can I just do that and perhaps squeeze it alongside the road. Oh, that looks beautiful. Right. Let me just configure this station. And let's add outbound road. And now let's connect it with a street. Should I make it longer? Yeah, that looks fine. Okay, so normal traffic can go along this station while trucks will stop at their appropriate platform. That seems like a fair deal. I'm really happy how this station turned out. Right. Let's see. I don't like this bend. It will cause my trucks, especially later on. Well, right now I'm not using trucks. Those are horse carts. But such a sharp bends later on will cause your trucks to slow down. So it is much better. Oh, we got some. Wow. Wow. You know what? If I find some time, I might upgrade my passenger trains. Anyway, let's not distract ourselves. I just fixed this junction to support a better traffic flow. Fantastic. It looks amazing. Okay, so we can now produce refined oil. Now we obviously need to turn this oil into plastic. So once more we will deliver this plastic, we will deliver that oil into this area. But what I would like to do is to make a pass through this station, because why not? It sounds like a good plan to do, and there's not gonna be like a local traffic going through. So I think if we could do it like that and then connect this side with that road. There we go. It looks beautiful. We got a station on each side of the road. It has enough clearance and enough space. We will be delivering in one-to-one basis, so there shouldn't be too much of a problem with deliveries. And so that this station won't get overwhelmed by the amount of cargo that's going through. I'm expecting it to be mostly empty at all times. Right, so this one is sorted. Time for this area. So in this place we obviously need two inbound platforms and one outbound platform. So the station will be a little bit bigger. Is that the right one? If I would... Can I just squeeze it in here? Yeah, I think that's a good location. Right at the junction, which will improve the traffic later on, because everything is operated only from one single junction. I'm not expecting any traffic to build up in this area in particular, mostly because people won't be traveling using this road. It leads basically to nowhere. In fact, Felixstowe has very poor road connection. It is not directly connected with any other town. I could eventually connect these roads and make direct connection with Shaftesbury, but I'll leave that for later. I was thinking about making some sort of a highway connection later on, which would allow me to bring Felixstowe into better transport position. But for now, it seems to work fine. Right, one last thing that we need is cargo station located near our train station. Why is that, you ask? Well, it's very simple. We will be delivering steel to Felixstowe, and we are going to do that by train. But before we start to do that, we need to also plan how to deliver that steel between train station and goods factory. And that's where this cargo terminal or cargo station will become very, very useful. So, I got a few ideas on how to place it and where to place it. We can either go opposite side of the road. We can place it somewhere here and create a massive cargo terminal to deliver goods. Or we can be a bit cheeky and place it in this square, while at the same time leaving this square entirely for train station. Which sounds logical, providing that any passenger connections are being done only by a single train. And cargo, well, there's not that much cargo to export. I can export construction materials, but I would first have to supply them. Or I can export grain from local farm, if I will eventually decide to produce any sort of food products. Okay, anyway, for now, I think it will be appropriate to build our cargo terminal with... How many terminals do we need? I think we could easily do with 2. Okay. So 2 platforms. And let's build it parallel to that road. 7 buildings will be removed. Okay. Well, we will redo this town, or rather this town can eventually start growing in different direction. I'm actually hoping that people will start moving in this area, while the businesses will move closer to this area. I might eventually try and train this town, if anyone knows what I'm talking about. It basically would require me to delete manually some of the businesses and hope that they will start growing closer to where the transport links actually are. In theory, the game should do it automatically, but you can never be sure. Right, I will extend this platform a little bit, because when I will drop off a massive amount of steel, I would really like to make it fit into the station. So it will be very long, maybe excessively, but hopefully right now it can hold all the cargo that I need. The second platform is just a drop-off in case I will decide to, for example, start supplying grain. I can then send my trucks to turn around and drop off grain in this platform, which will immediately be transferred onto train station anyway. So there is no point in me making it any longer. Right, fantastic. So the first part is done. All we have to do now is to create transport links. So, Upper Felixstowe, we need to stop at platform 2. That needs to be correctly planned. And Felixstowe West, fantastic. It is... yeah, it is going to work perfectly fine. In fact, in retrospect, I might actually not need more than 2 platforms in here, because those trucks will be transporting steel and goods back to the train station. So why would I... okay, never mind. Oh well, I guess I need to plan it better next time. Anyway, we are going to set up our first track line, and this is going to be Felixstowe. Goods factory. Fantastic. Let's select a good color for it. Perhaps. That's a good question. I got such a big color palette and I still can't decide what to do with it. Perhaps this color will be good. Okay. So we got goods and steel delivery between Felixstowe West and Upper Felixstowe. Now let's set up another line. And this one will be delivering plastic to our goods factory. So from Felixstowe West, we will be heading towards Felixstowe Exchange. And again, it's gonna be truck line, Felixstowe, plastic delivery. There we go. Right, and before we will set up the name, let's set up few things. Because as there are trains going through this station, there is a huge risk that this exchange station will be automatically used by trucks to load or unload cargo that we don't actually want. So, what we want to load is plastic, and what we want to unload is nothing, because we are not going to transport anything on our way back. It's going to be an empty run. So we need to remember about it before we continue with our plans. So Felixstowe Exchange is set up, and Felixstowe West will not load anything and unload everything. Fantastic. We need to remember about it, because otherwise we might find some petrol or oil being transported into Upper Felixstowe or Felixstowe train station, which we don't want to do. Fantastic. Right. So that is sorted. Let's start a new line. From Felixstowe Exchange to Felixstowe Central. I'm not sure why it's called Central, but well. So, from Felixstowe Exchange, again, we are not going to take anything. While from Felixstowe Central, we are not going to unload anything, but we will take oil, because that's what we need. That's exactly the product that we expect to have. Right. So let's set up another line. That's truck. Felixstowe. Refined oil delivery. There we go. And finally, last line that I am going to set up is going to deliver crude oil into our oil processing plant or oil refinery. So let's just set this up. Felix go. Oil refining. There we go. We don't need to set up any conditions for this one because oil refineries are the only factories or only places where oil gets processed. And also this product won't be sent any further because for this line there are some conditions. So any other line, technically, or by common logic, I know it's difficult to say common logic in these days, but anyway, by common logic it should work exactly like that. So this product will automatically be stopped at this station because there is no other place it can vent or it can go at this moment, because there's nothing that can possibly transport this cargo. Right, so with all those lanes set up, we can in fact go ahead, install one of those road depots and send out first trucks. Even though they won't be doing anything at this moment, we might preset them so that this is going to be our first step in building this town. So I will start from 10 trucks or 10 road vehicles that will be heading out towards oil refining. There we go. Fantastic. So these guys will start to deliver crude oil into oil refinery. So let's buy another perhaps 5 of these guys and send them to Felixstowe. Which one? Oil delivery. There we go. Finally, let's send another 5 to deliver plastic from oil refinery. And lastly, about 5 vehicles that will also get a top-notch maintenance that will go to Felixstowe goods factory line. So they will be delivering goods between town center and goods factory. Fantastic. So our small army of trucks is currently going. Right. So let's quickly check the balance of those lines, because we might need to add some vehicles. So we got, where is that? Oil refining, which is the first step in our line. We are going to produce 76 oil barrels, or that's how many we are going to deliver. For every 2 delivered, we can produce 1 oil. So we are a bit short on this end. Let me just quickly balance this. Let's add 4 vehicles, which might seem excessive, but it turns into 107 rate. Fantastic. So now we need to deliver refined oil into plastic or chemical plant. So that's the one. And we can support up to 53. But we got 41. Okay. So let's put 2 more trucks onto this line and let's see how this changes the rate. Oh, that's too much. So what I'm gonna do, I will send this one to Felixstowe plastic delivery. There we go. And it shows clearly that plastic delivery could use actually one more vehicle. So let's add one more. Perfect. So we will be producing 50 goods from what we deliver. And goods factory line can support another 50 per year, which is perfect. We got exactly the right numbers. We will be slightly outproducing on oil refining end. We might eventually... Oh, no, we won't be outproducing. Right, manage vehicles, and I need to add this one, unfortunately. Right, so with that quick change, yep, we got perfect rates, we got ideal balance of those lines for now. So let's leave it as it is. It has good numbers to it for now. Right, another step in our journey for today's video is going to be expanding our rail network, because what we want to do, I would like to produce steel in this steel mill right next to Seaton. Why is that? Well, it has pretty good connection in terms of rail connection with Felixstowe. In fact, we can join in main line, turn around behind Shaftesbury Central using this turnout, and go back to Felixstowe. The problem is we also need to supply this steel mill, and well, we shouldn't have too much problem with iron ore. There's plenty of mines nearby, and connecting them to rail network is not that hard. The bigger problem might be coal mines, and the nearest ones, or the best ones that I can find possibly at this point, is going to be in Chertsey. So we are talking about these three coal mines. So I've been thinking about placing a station here, connecting it to main line, expanding this turn into double track, putting a train station near one of these two iron ore mines, and then sending it to steel mill, and finally send processed steel back into Felixstowe, and then send another train that will be running directly between Felixstowe and Carterton. So that sounds like a whole lot of work, and it is. It is going to also be expensive, so I need to keep my spendings in check, because right now, my lines are barely making through. Anyway, let's stop talking, let's start working. You're never gonna make any money if you will just keep dreaming. Right, so let's just rebuild this road, shall we? I really don't like that extra roads that were in here. I just really need to get nice and smooth connection from the main line, so I can't have like complicated station here. Right, anyway, let me just connect these roads first. Ooh, no. Let's do it some nice and smooth. There we go, and there we go. Fantastic. Right, so let's start from building train station. It is going to be a terminus cargo station, and I need this to be 320, perhaps 400 meters. Yeah, that sounds like a too long station. 320 meters. I'm really tempted to go for 400. We definitely need at least 3 tracks. Oh my goodness me, this is one long station, I'm not going to lie. Should we go for 400 meters? Yeah, let's go for it. Right. Let's put it in nice position. Perhaps here at slight angle. Fantastic. And we got perfect approach towards main line. So we will try to connect right before this tunnel and branch out towards this station. It shouldn't be that difficult. And hopefully everything will work in our favor. So, station approach itself will be very slow. I'm gonna make this stretch of track, let's say, that long, so that I can accommodate all the connections. And let's finally just double slip this one. Perfect. So we got access to all the tracks. It's very, very simple build. Nothing complicated in here. And now we can build up with high-speed tracks. And those can connect directly. Oh, come on, come on, come on. I really hate when the game does that to me. There we go. That is very cheap. Anyway, this track is ready. And now let's connect this track. Hopefully the game won't play any tricks on me. There we go. Let's just see how this crossover works. Is it nice and smooth? Yeah, it could actually use some... Ooh. See, that is a bit problematic. Sometimes one of your tracks is going at the wrong angle and it will cause the track to basically be slightly below the track that it's crossing through, and it creates that nasty clipping effect. I really hate that. What I might do is to delete this connection. In fact, I could... Yeah, let's do it that way. I'm going to pull this track until this end and start from connecting this crossing track. Obviously, that is if the game will let me do that. Fantastic. So now I can first inspect this junction. And as you can see, the mainline track is clipping over the track that is connecting to it, which we don't want to. So a single touch on M button, which will change the angles of incoming track, will change things over. There will be slight bump on this track, but it looks much better on the junction itself. Right, so we will accept that, and then we can connect the other track, and it should solve the problem. And it did. It looks amazing. Right, so let's do signaling before we forget about it. So it's gonna be one-way signaling. We want first signal to be here, right after the junction, another signal here after the junction, a signal here for the trains that are coming into the junction, and another signal here for trains that may be traveling on the main line and won't make it before one of those trains from steel mill. Fantastic. Let's place another set of signals. Let's say in here, so that any queuing trains won't block the junction. And finally, one set of signals right before the station. Now, we could eventually go with 2 side signals on each platform. So that will improve the traffic around the station, and in fact, let's just do it. There we go. Is that everything? Oh, okay, there is one more thing that I forgot about. It just hit me. I do need a track that crosses over. Question is, can I just do that? No. I don't think the game will let me do that. Nope. Oh dear, it won't be that easy. Right, so I need... Oh. Come on. Okay, so I need this track. And that's where my signaling should be. Okay. And now I can introduce one-way signal in here and one-way signal in here. Fantastic. So the station approach now has access to all tracks, and now it has access to mainline from all tracks. We need to remember about it, otherwise this train would be blocked in this platform, because effectively it would never be able to go back onto the mainline, which is one way only. Anyway, this problem has been now solved. We are safe. Right, so first element of our build is completed. We got access to steel mill, we got 2 inbound tracks and 1 outbound track. All we have to do now is to find a good spot for our trains to branch out and go into, for example, this steel mill or this iron ore mine. Why this one instead of this one? Well, this one seems to be a bit too close, and transporting things using trains wouldn't exactly be the best idea. In fact, this one is still pretty close. And I'm not sure, perhaps I should introduce some trains going to Chertsey. But on the other hand, that's one of the 2 iron ore mines in the neighborhood. And I will definitely use that steel mill later on to produce machinery. So perhaps what I could do... Okay, there is another one. Then I could export these 2 materials, go all the way down here, and it would help me balance things out. Extra trains going through this tunnel is not a problem, but the question is, do I want to make that branch off? I would have to make a branch off somewhere here, because that's the last spot to do that. But it's pretty deep in here. Oh dear. That's a good question. Do I want to have 2 individual stations for them coal mine and iron ore mine? It doesn't seem like a bad idea. The thing is, I need to watch out because I got ships going. So I need to make sure that eventual bridge will be high enough. Or I could branch out after the station and turn this way. And then branch out from here going to this coal mine. Yeah, let's do it. Right, so I will start from coal mine. Let's put some buildings, and we need 400-meter single track station. I know it's very long, but I need a long train to actually deliver all that coal back into steel mill. We need to remember that for every 2 coal and 2 iron ore, there is 1 steel rail produced, or one unit of steel being produced. So it's very inefficient production. Right, let me just get this slow truck at the front of the station, and now we can, in fact, what I could do is to use counter lines, so I can stay within the same counter line. Beautiful. I will just try to turn in here. Then we will go alongside this road. Just like that. This way. Fantastic. And now we need to branch in onto this track. So let's turn off this view. It's really annoying. And now what I want to do is to connect to these tracks. But I need to connect after this junction, which is actually perfectly placed, because when I branch out, the trains, well, they will slow down to 73 kilometers per hour, which is not a big deal. But they also have this crossover, so they can go back onto mainline. And this area is already a station approach. So slowing down trains in this area is not a big deal. Fantastic. So first part is done. Now we need to sort out signaling, because there doesn't seem to be any signals along this tunnel. And we don't really want to send any passenger trains alongside with cargo trains to cause a massive delays. So we need to put a couple of signals inside of this tunnel, which is not exactly what I really enjoy doing, because putting any signals inside the tunnel means that it's really hard to remove them from such tunnel. But well, the game doesn't support automatic signaling or automatic signal replacement. It's not the game like, let's say, Railway Empire, where you can just build signals in automatic distancing along the whole track. Imagine that this game has that function, and well, it's not in Transport Fever, I'm afraid. Anyway, we need two-way signal here, just to help these trains to decide if they should branch in or not. And that's basically it. We don't need any signaling in this area. If there is any train going across, well, going through this station, we really don't want it to interrupt with anything. And for now, we can't even allow for a single way tracks in this area, because that's an end station. We will eventually connect to Whaley Bridge, and then I can redo organization of tracks in this area. But for now, we will have to deal with what we got. Right, anyway, let's have a look at this area. Okay, so is this 20? No. Is this 120? Yes. Oh, this is very problematic. Or maybe not. No, in this case it's not. Okay, so we will use the same type of track, and all we have to do is to basically branch out towards this iron ore mine. What we need to remember is that this train needs to have access to both tracks, because at the end of the day those tracks will be one way. So what I'm going to do is to create a crossover. It's gonna be pretty far away, I know. 80 kilometers per hour crossover should do the job. Okay, that's good. And then I can branch this train out. Let's say 60 kilometers per hour. Sounds like a good speed. In fact, I could even go faster. Okay. What I will do, I will first build the train station. So instead of going for terminal station or terminus station, I will go with pass-through station this time. Just like that. Fantastic. From here we can do a small connection. Oh, that's in fact a problem. Okay. We'll do it like that. Directly from this branch, I will just pull this track in here. And let's see what happens. Okay, the speeds are pretty good. The bridge is, well, a bit extensive. I'm not going to lie. But what we can do, well, that's one nice bridge. But it might be too early to build full iron bridge. Do I want to build a stone bridge instead? For example, just like that. Well, that would be nice. It's a very tall bridge, I'm not going to lie. Question is, do we want to do that? It is indeed very, very long bridge. But on the other hand, it would definitely fit. Oh, I love that look of this old rusty bridge. This one is even better. Yeah, I think we can use this one. I know it's... well... I know it's not exactly realistic at the moment, providing that we got November 1880, which is a bit early. But I think we can forgive ourselves that small lack of immersion. Yeah, I think we should be fine with that. Okay. So, that is perfect. All we have to do is a proper signaling in this area. Again, we need one-way signals right behind this junction. We need two-way signal in front of this junction. And then no signals in this area whatsoever. I know, it's gonna slow down the traffic in this area in general. But again, we will definitely need that. Hopefully the trains will take the appropriate tracks. Otherwise, in fact, what I could do is to use waypoints. I will use 2 waypoints that will be placed on each track just to make sure that this cargo train always uses the right track. Later on, when I will introduce one-way system in this area, everything will be fine, but for now, unfortunately, we can't do that. So we have to rely on those custom measures. We don't need any further signaling in this on this track, because there's not going to be any other trains going through those areas. So now that we got two connections, we need to create train routes. So let's create a new line, and first one will be for iron ore. Okay, so that's our route. It's pretty long, in fact. So on Chertsey South, we want to fully load iron ore, and we don't want to unload anything. And for full load, I need this one, and I want this train to wait for unlimited amount of time. It always has to go full. So let's call it rail cargo Chertsey. Iron ore export. There we go. Now we need another line, and this one again will fully load coal with unlimited time, and this one will be called rail cargo Chertsey coal export. There we go. Fantastic. Now, as we got this sorted, we need to start exporting steel. So let's set up the line as we are already here, and let's call it rail cargo that's a good question. That's gonna be Seaton steel export. There we go. And last line will be going between, is that Shaftesbury sidings? Oh my goodness me, I selected the wrong station. Right, it's good to know. Right, so Seaton steel export, instead of going to Shaftesbury sidings, you need to go all the way to Felixstowe. Right, and from Seaton East, I want you to fully load with unlimited time, and what I want you to load is iron, or is steel, in fact. While in here, I don't want you to load anything, at least at this moment. Fantastic. And finally, last lane will be going between Felixstowe and Carterton. There we go. And this is rail cargo Felixstowe Carterton. There we go. These trains can transfer any cargo that is available. Why is that? Well, if I will plug Felixstowe into any other supply chain, and I will decide to export it to Carterton, the train will automatically load whatever is available. And that's my goal in this case. Because Felixstowe can also take fuel or crude oil or anything like that. It also takes tools. And as it happens, I am actually producing tools at Carterton. So when I increase production in this area, this train will automatically take some tools towards Felixstowe, which will help this town grow. Okay, one last thing that I mentioned at the start is this passage track. We need to expand it because there's going to be 2 more trains going through. And with its current state, it doesn't support any additional trains. If we would send anything, it would probably cause a massive disaster. Right, so I want trains to merge into a single track. I think right after this crossing, which sounds very logical. So I'm going to create this high-speed track. And go all the way here. And then right after this junction, I want them to merge. Oh, fantastic! We just unlocked some extra new locomotives, which is good. That is very good. Right, we need one-way signals. In here, let's say in here. Yeah, let's create a couple of segments. There we go. That's another segment. And finally, we need a set of signals here. Fantastic. So, this station, or this track on this station, will quickly become a bit busy. I know about it. It is difficult, and the decision is not easy, but it is what we have to do. Hopefully, none of the trains will try to stop at the same signal. And there is a risk of that happening, in fact, because of this signal. In fact, what I could do... Do I want to delete that signal? Well, I'm afraid that, providing that there is only one track that will have two-way traffic, I will have to. It is a very long section to turn off, and the trains will have to wait on a main line in order to join this track. But I really don't want to create any problems in here. What I could do, and this is a good possibility, is to create a crossing in here. And this way I can use this as a double track section. Nah, it will be fine. Okay. Anyway, the trains should now try to travel on their appropriate tracks, and it will improve the flow over this area. Especially that, well, this area is an improvement on its own. The problem is with this track. I will have to figure something out, but for now it can work as it is. It's not perfect, I know, but it is what we got. Right, anyway. So, with that said, we got everything. Everything is in place, everything is prepared. All we have to do is to send trains out. So, let's focus on that. And that will probably be the end of our today's episode. So, we will start from sending some nice locos. So, let's select our locomotive. And we need something relatively fast. I'm not going to lie. So, we will use this goods locomotive, and we got this newly unlocked special goods 060. It has massive 500 kilowatts power and tractive effort of 70 kilonewtons. With a top speed of 84 kilometers per hour, I think this one will be a perfect candidate to actually do the job for today. So, I will start from a single head, or perhaps I would like to double head it. Right. I think I will double head these ones. And let's select cargo wagons. And we need those 4-plank open long wagons. They don't have too much capacity, which is a bit of a bummer. I could use British 5-plank open wagon or generic British open wagon with 5 planks. I think I will use those ones. They will be fine. 5 plankers will be good, and they got good enough capacity, and that's what we need. So let's make this train to have as big capacity as we can, providing that we won't exceed, let's say, 300 capacity. How does it look? The train is 315 meters long, and it will cost us 20 million. Right. So, with 301 capacity, we can deliver 150 steel. Okay. We need 2 of those trains anyway. So let's buy them. Let's send train 12 into iron ore exports and then into coal exports. Okay. Both of our trains are now ready. We got 30 million left. And with that, we need to figure out what to do next. So, we need this goods one. Let's say black one again. We'll be delivering. Let me select cargo. Let's go to generic British, covered one. And let's get it until 150 capacity. 147. 154. There we go. Okay, this one is ready, so we can send this one. Oh no, wrong one. I've selected the wrong wagons. So I need to manage this vehicle. Let me just manage this vehicle. Can I do it? I can't do it. Right. Okay, we will do it the other way. Is that... yeah, that's Seaton Steel Export. There we go. Now I can manage vehicle. I can edit it. And I can edit the wagons. Yes, I know. I should have picked the right ones, because for this one I want 1-plank wagon. We are still going to remain at the same capacity, so it's not a big deal. There we go. The train has been modified. And finally, I need one last train. And this one is going to deliver goods between Carterton and Felixstowe. There we go. That's what I wanted to say exactly. Right. So this one will be green. Let's add you. And this one needs those generic British wagons covered. And let's say capacity can be around 100. 91, 98. Yeah, that's good. And Felixstowe, Carterton. Whew, that was a lot of trains. Just look at them. Wow. Wow. There's so many trains leaving the station now. It actually creates a little bit of a lag. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, Wow, that's a very long train. That's another one. I think that's the coal train. It's gonna take a while before those will reach their initial destinations and before we will start getting some income from those lines. Oh, okay, another train is getting ready to leave the station. Actually, there are 2 trains waiting to leave the station. It looks really awkward inside. Anyway, okay. This one is leaving, and that's our steel train. Just look at it. Isn't it beautiful? Wow. This one should be a bit shorter than the previous one, because that bad boy is now going to deliver all that coal that we need to produce all that steel. Fantastic, fantastic. Right, so I guess that is going to be it for today's episode. I know it was a bit long one, but I hope that you guys enjoy it. Let me just enter the cockpit of the first train. So I will leave you for a while with this train. I'm not sure if we will continue up until the end of this route, because it's getting late now and that recording gets longer and longer. But for now, I will stay with this train and we will travel with it for next couple of minutes. And from me, well, that is it for today's episode. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you want to get informed about my new content, hit that notification bell button and don't forget to share your comments down below. Have a great day and see you all later. Later. Out.